Hello guys and welcome to another video from Oscar Cooper. I hope you are all well. Yes, we are doing another couch co-op and split screen list. Some of these games are pretty recent. Don't worry, we're not going back to 1998. And if you're new to me or new to these lists, please hop on the channel, subscribe and like. There's a whole bunch more. There's a massive playlist. We've got loads of couch co-op games on the channel, so enjoy. And you may have noticed, first game to come up is Nuclear Throne, a pretty cool indie game and a roguelike, and goddamn hard as well, and a bit strange looking. Don't be put off by this. It's made in Game Studio actually. It's not a hugely complicated game when it comes to graphics, but it is a really detailed roguelike game. What I mean by that is you get one life, you get loads of power-ups, and it's just a rip-roaring experience. This game is intense. Like watching it for a long time is like can do your eyes in. That's how crazy it is. I love it to bits because of the innovative weapon unlocks, and of course every character has their own perks, etc. And just how rough and ready it is. I do like the visuals and the sound and just how sort of rough around the edges it is, and it totally does what it's supposed to do. It's a goddamn hard roguelike game. It's kind of a hybrid roguelike, if you know what I mean. It doesn't exist to all of the rules, but there are procedurally generated maps, etc. But it's just really loud and really vicious, this game. It's very hard. Every time you do a level you get a perk, so you're sort of gathering all this new stuff if you go along, and the same thing happens with the weapons, etc. You'll find various drops on your different runs, and the enemies and bosses are really funnily drawn. They're really awesome to fight. A really great game. Yes, it's time for a Geometry Wars game, and I did say we weren't going back too far on this list, but forgive me for this one because it's pretty epic. Geometry Wars Dimensions Evolved is actually a 4-player single-screen co-op, couch co-op game. A really cool idea to have this game actually up for 4-player. Now, it's if you're an Xbox 360 owner like me, you will know about Geometry Wars, the early editions that were out on the Xbox Arcade. They were phenomenal, and it's really cool to have a Geometry Wars game on the PlayStation 4. Looks amazing. We're in Housemart territory here. It's not made by them, but of course it obeys to a lot of their rules, and of course Resogun is almost visually identical to this game. This is not an easy game, and what I will say is that it's got a huge amount of content for the single player campaign. Actually really good, loads of varied content, and the maps are really awesome. They've taken a great sort of angle when it comes to the different shapes of these maps, and the boss fights are pretty epic as well. But Geometry Wars Evolved is definitely worth a purchase if you love a twin stick shooter and you love that high score, really good leaderboards, online rankings, all that sort of stuff. Definitely worth a look. So I finally succumbed to the Lego series, as you can see, but this one is the older one. It's from 2013. It's the Marvel Superheroes edition, and it's a real pleasant surprise. I love the way the split screen works and the independence of each character. That's a clever idea. You're not joined at the hip at all, and there's actually an open world in this game as well. And I looked at all of them in detail, and this one is the best reviewed. It's kind of the fan favourite. It's got over 100 different characters to choose from in it, and it just works incredibly well when it comes to working together with the puzzles. The story is quite funny. If you've seen that the humour in this game is in the vein of the film, the film was actually really funny and awesome as well, and you don't be put off by the fact that it's from the Lego franchise. It is quite complicated. There's quite a lot of depth in this. The puzzles, they're not easy, and the combat's pretty cool as well, depending on what sort of hero you choose. The solutions to the problems they're really innovative and awesome.
That shouldn't be happening. The security system must be on the blink.
Let me through so we can look for a way to shut it down.
We are live outside the Baxter Building, headquarters of the beloved Manhattan hero group, the Fantastic Four. There appears to have been some sort of break-in. Witnesses at the scene heard what they thought to be a crash coming from the rooftop. Could the thing have just taken a tumble in the shower? Or is something more sinister afoot for Reed Richards and his cohorts? Stay tuned for more details as they develop.
What I'm also impressed with is the way the screen splits during combat, so that you're not completely, stuck next to each other. It's got a diagonal split that appears when you move away, and a few games do that. Divinity Original Sin did that, and another game on this list does it as well. And that's really clever. It doesn't break the immersion. It feels really natural. It's something you get very used to, and the combat's great. The story's deep. This is something you need to look at if you're into a cool, deep co-op story. I can feel my regular listeners' eyebrows raising right now, but bear with me on this, okay? The Sword of Ditto is I will hands down admit this, I'm completely addicted to this game. I think I got it about 4 or 5 days ago, and I've just pumped hours into it because it's a perfect blend of action RPG with a hybrid roguelike setup, and it's of course full-blown co-op. Now, it's a bit like Ocarina of Time. The whole world is going to end, or there's a big boss fight coming up. I can't remember which, probably both. But you have this set time period of a number of days to level up and get all your shit together before you have this massive fight. And it's so detailed. The action RPG element when it comes to getting new equipment, and as you can see, these cursors down in the corners where you've got a flame stick, or you've got like a pea shooter, but you get bow and arrows and stuff, and you get different combinations for your sword. And the whole game revolves around this sticker thing where you have 4 slots, I think, to put these stickers in that you unlock in these dungeons, and they give you massive perks. It changes everything. You can have all kinds of different stuff happening. There's also a really cool infantry system. The game's got this like funny Adventure Time sort of humour to it, and it is cute, but it's bloody difficult as well at the same time. But it's also really accessible. It's a beautiful looking game as well. I love the art style and how cute the enemies are, and just the noises and stuff. But it's just so addictive. You just have to keep leveling up. You have to keep going. Again, a procedurally generated map, which is a clever idea. But there's just all these secrets in it everywhere. You'll never have the same run twice, and you'll just find yourself in some random dungeon, and the reward at the end could enable you to play the game completely differently going forward, and that just pulls you through all the time. And the fact that you can share this with somebody else flawlessly, it looks great. You don't have to worry about them wandering off screen, because you can actually heighten the resolution to encompass a larger amount of screen space, and that was an option I went for straight away, so that there's just a loads more to be seen on screen. Absolutely brilliant, this game. I love it to bits. It's called The Sword of Ditto, and it's out on the PlayStation Network. It's digital purchase only, and it's quite new, and love it loads. I think one of the things I enjoy about it is finding these different dungeons, and going through the procedurally generated map is in like rooms, so it's got that screen rolling that you had on stuff like Earthbound, etc., and that's an adorable thing. I love the way that rolls forward, and just they've done the loot system really well, so that you're addicted to getting pulled through and finding other cool stuff. And there's this sort of dodge and roll and avoid mechanic, and you give these tokens to these statues. You don't know what they're going to do at this stage, a bit like Dark Souls, when you sort of give things to various random non-player characters. And look at this, there's like a Rocco featured level in it, which gives you a permanent roll sticker. So amazing game. I think when we all saw this game on the horizon, it seemed like a match made in heaven. A proper current gen, fully fleshed out co-op game, which depended on couch co-op, i.e. you cannot play this game single player. If you want to sit down on your own, you have to go online and get someone to join you in the lobbies. Now that's a big step for a developer to do that, and if you know the guy, if you've seen him at the awards ceremony, the head guy at the studio talking about, he's a nutter, and he definitely has delivered on this. So I can't sort of put my finger on whether or not it's the writing or the fact that you are so immersed in this world and seeing your other character, the person you're playing with, interact with the environment whilst you're doing something else, or whether it's just the fact that the way that it looks and plays is a little bit, it's very story driven, you see, and there's quite a lot of QTE in it, but there are sort of some sneak and stealth missions to sort of change things up and stuff. But I think what this game hangs itself on is good writing, and good writing with from both angles of each character and the way that they cross paths and overlap and interact with each other. That's the clever part of this game, is that you are kind of playing independent stories, but you're also coming together for this prison breakout, which is a mid-game finale, and really well done. The interaction between each other, you're not immediately friendly, and it's cool to sort of play the backstory and work out why these two are together and why they're sort of fighting for the same cause. It's a very, very clever piece of writing in regards to, as I said, the two threads becoming intertwined with each other. You do have some interaction early on in the game, but it's different to the mid-game and end-game interaction. That's really good, and I thought the QTE was going to get annoying. That's quick time event, by the way. That's the button pushing, time button pushing, and you know, the God of War games were all over that.
Stay the hell away from me, okay?
This is definitely delivered, and I think if you have a mate or a flatmate or someone that you can invest a lot of time in sitting with them and really get your teeth into a meaty story that's got tension in it, that's violent, that's adult, that's got some huge themes in it, then this is definitely the one for you. It's got a lovely AAA sheen to it. It looks very, very good, and it's not a full price game, I don't think, but it's great, and no worries. There's really nothing majorly wrong with it. I love it. If you're thinking of getting it, then this is the green light. It's A Way Out has done what it was supposed to have done, and it's done it really, really well, and it's also incredibly good looking for a game from a studio of that size. So as a finisher, guys, thank you very much for watching. Obviously A Way Out has won this list, of course it has. It's brilliant. Go down and play it, and of course, if you're new, I keep saying this, subscribe to me. I'm going to make loads more stuff, and as always, boys, see you down there.
I need to wait for that guard to move.
You! What are you doing?